every time Dennis the Menace would leave his skateboard out, Mr. Wilson, his neighbor, would put one foot on it and fly back onto his back.
Yeah.
So that's the Mr. Wilson. Yeah. That's where you like feel like you fractured your coccyx.
Yes.
Right?
You can even do that.
And I have fractured it. Yeah.
Me too. I snapped my tailbone off. I don't get how you can keep getting up and then someone was like, he's like the Terminator. He's like the liquid Terminator.
Welcome, everyone, to the shit show, also known as Hawk versus Wolf. We're live.
Shit show. Oh, man.
Well, it felt a little bit like that.
It's a bum rush. It's confusing. Usually we record on a certain day or it's in a certain 2 days, and today it's not that day. And I'm already
and we didn't have the equipment here, so
yeah, we had
the equipment from the car.
Right. And yes, this equipment went to the desert recently. So, and it was involved in hideous pain and sorrow. So it's scarring me pulling it out of my Jeep and putting it back in here where everything's great. It's a little bit, yeah. I'm getting angry. I felt like I could have made my last stunt in my skateboard, in my life, dude. I'm done. And I didn't get to make it.
It did look arduous.
Because they didn't really set it up the way I asked them to. But I'm glad that I did it. Like, it's my little war that I had. And I think at one point when I was like hanging out of the car and I'm like, okay, you're going to jump out of this? Like when it takes off in the air? I'm so glad that I've been skating with you because I've faced a lot of fears out here that I haven't in a long time. I'm like, man, I am scared to do every trick.
There's no way you could have done that cold turkey without have been skating.
Right.
Yeah.
I still couldn't have done it. But anyway.
It wouldn't be that hard to recreate, to do it properly the way you had planned it, and then just show them like, here's how it could have been.
Wow.
Right?
Like, you're making me want to spend the money, my personal self, like, and just build it and then send them the video and go, here's what I was going to do. Yeah. Notice how I made it and that I'm walking, not in pain.
I got an idea. Let's take the budget for this show and do that. Oh, there's no budget. Never mind.
That was painful. It's very funny, but also painful. What about Liquid Death?
I'll help you out.
I got a bad idea. Liquid Death. You guys need to get it. I got a great
What would it take? What would it take? To use one of those cars or buggies.
you need a buggy. Wouldn't matter what buggy because we're not looped in. Okay. So you need a buggy. It was stock too, so don't have to do anything to it.
Get a stock buggy.
We could rent the motocross track.
Did they actually rent the whole track?
No, it was closed.
Okay.
And there was the spot where they were going to knock out a jump so that they could get a big run up for this step up. Right. And I think maybe they didn't want to knock out the jump. And I think the other main thing was they didn't have a resi mat. And if people don't know what a resi mat is, because in my conversations in the last couple of months, turns out a lot of people nod at resi mat, but they don't know what a resi mat is. Yeah. If you go to the Nitro games and see Travis Pastrana, you'll see that he had a mega ramp jump where skateboarders were landing on a resi mat. So sometimes when you land and you take a shoulder block, because you were so committed to making it,
it has gives, cushion.
It's exceptionally giving.
Yes.
Versus this jump that I landed on was a tractor trailer ramp that somebody nailed plywood to the top of.
Yeah, not as forgiving.
Yeah, when you're 50, you need a resi mat.
True.
You need one when you're 20.
Okay, well, we got access to a resi mat. So, all right, just keep it, we'll just keep that in the back burner. When you start feeling healthy again.
Back burn that, because that would be, I didn't want to, I said that I got emotional, but I'll do it. I cried, dude. I cried. After I didn't make it, I cried, and I was happy that I cried because I was like, wow, you care that much still? Like, good for you.
That's good. Yeah, you still have the passion.
It reminded me of like not qualifying for a contest, and I didn't tell anybody, but I walked off and I left and I cried a little bit because I wanted to make that fucking final so badly. This was the same thing. I was back in the RV like, just couldn't do it. My legs gave out. Like, I'm like, you are. So to make it would be great. But I also told myself that day, maybe, what is the point of all of this? Like, you can't
ask that.
Nobody cares. So
can't ask
it's only for you.
Now, yeah, but that's why we've always done it. So you can't, like, those questions. Do you know what I mean?
No, I'm dying for this answer of no answer. Don't ask that question.
I have struggled with tricks out here that are meaningless in the bigger picture of things.
Yeah.
That probably most people that are interested in what I do are gonna be like, eh. And I have to do it. And it's just, it's your war. It's that thing, Thrasher, my war. It's your war, and you want to follow through just so that you have your own validation. I totally get it. But you don't have to justify that part of it. Like, of course. That's what we've always done.
I think it's been such a long time, and it was still...
It's been such a long time that you had to follow through with something like that you wanted it for yourself.
Yeah, and it was so dangerous. Like, people were... I was like, I'd figured by now you'd be like... I had instincts of feelings of... I had a voice like, don't jump off that car. You know what I mean? And then a couple of times when it whizzed by, I stayed in the car and went... And I was like, ooh, that is really sketchy. You know, it's time to really sack it up, you know, get angry, get in it, get sweaty, get hot, get in pain. Like a couple of times, like one time my pads caught and I hit my head hard.
Oh, dude, that's the worst.
Like really hard, like skidding across the gravel. And I was like...
And there's some irony in that. You know you're safe, you're going to knee slide, and then your knee pad catches and suddenly you're on your head like that.
Yeah, it was all, and that was like another slam on top of all the other ones that I wasn't expecting. And I was like, okay, now like... What happens next? I get back in the car, off we go. There's like 3 people there. Nobody understands how difficult this is. Not one skateboarder in this panel.
And no one's doing that. Yeah, you got it this time.
A couple people were like, I don't get how you can keep getting up. And then someone was like, he's like the Terminator. He's like the liquid Terminator. And I'm like, it's not helping me.
Yeah, that's not the skate vibe.
It's not Hollywood, son. Like I'm trying. Yeah. I'm like, I just need to make it. That's all I need to do is make it.
Yeah.
And then trying to show me a video of me almost making it, and it's in the sun. I can't see it. And I'm just like, just get in the car. Let's go again. We'll figure it out. It's just so painful. So
we need redemption.
Demoralizing.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know, I would have. I think I would have made it if you had been there. I think if Poopies had been there, I would have made it. Like I needed someone who was like, you could. I know you're killing inside, man, but maybe just grab a drink. And then come back. Like, don't give up. Because I was like, I can't move.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, I would, you know me. I would, if you were like, dude, what do we need? I would be like, this is what
Pack this up, put it in an RV, do our own thing. Let's do it. When I get back from Japan, we'll do it.
All right.
I'm serious.
I'm serious.
Yeah, let's do it.
I've always wanted to make that fucking stunt. I showed you the video that
part of this podcast is video content, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can use the ones that I didn't make. I can show you guys.
No, I'm saying like we'll just scrap that. We're just doing doing it. You know, it's ours. Right?
Yeah, this is really inspirational to me. I thought for sure that was it. I was like, wow, you failed.
No, we got it. We'll get it. We'll do it right.
Yes.
Yes. I got to borrow an RV, but we'll do it right.
I got X-rays on my spine and shit. I have degenerative spine. Pretty cool.
Degenerative, is that an official?
I think I said it incorrectly, but you know what I'm saying.
Degenerative spine.
Yeah. Every time I say spine, I can't not say that. I don't know why.
I'm glad to hear your official diagnosis.
Yeah. My, whatever this area of bone is.
Pelvis.
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure. You know when you hit your ass so hard that you've put your hand there to see if you're bleeding?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what
you mean the butt splitter?
Yeah. I was like, did I set my tailbone off? Did I hit my butt so hard that I have an extra hole in my anus that's not even my anus?
It's funny. I've tried to explain butt splitters to people, and they don't like. You know what I'm talking about when you like, like one cheek grabs and then you're like, oh,
okay.
I'm not talking about like that impact. I'm talking
because I was thinking of another one. Yeah. I was thinking of the tailbone hit. You're talking about the
tailbone hit just sets your whole body like ajar where you're just like, oh, something really bad might have happened.
I think most dudes have had one.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe like a roller skate, or if you've ever tried to skateboard and you didn't skateboard in your life, or you're like, oh, what's this hoverboard all about? Like anybody who does the whip and your hands miss and you get your ass, and then you do the aftermath is you squeeze your butt cheeks and you go until the pain goes away from your butt cheeks.
You're talking about the butt splitter.
I'm talking about you're talking about the butt splitter, which is completely different. You're saying this can only be achieved.
You're saying the Mr. Wilson. Okay,
yes.
Here's Mr. Wilson is derived from Dennis the Menace cartoon comic strip, where every time Dennis the Menace would leave his skateboard out, Mr. Wilson, his neighbor, would put one foot on it and fly back onto his back.
Yeah.
So that's the Mr. Wilson. Yeah. That's where you like feel like you fractured your coccyx.
Yes.
Right?
You can even do that.
And I have fractured it. Yeah.
Me too. I snapped my tailbone off.
What?
Yeah. I did. I told you about that. I got the x-ray. I snapped my tailbone off, right?
Yeah.
And the x-ray doctor shows me, he's like, your tailbone's floating in your butt. And I was like, so what do I do? Nothing. He's like, I can cut it out of there if you want. And I was like, really? I don't really want you to cut me open. I'll just leave it. And I had the x-ray in my bathroom. I think I told you.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
So I would show people the x-ray. I'm like, that's my tailbone. And then it had like a little shadow of my
Is it still floating?
Yeah.
They didn't take it out?
No, I didn't get it taken out.
Wow.
That's why I felt when I hit it again, I was like,
right.
Do I have a tailbone left?
Yep.
And it was numb enough to rub it to see if it was there. And I was like, yeah, that's my...
Oh, you can find it?
Yeah.
Oh, wild.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway,
the other injury we're talking about is butt splitter.
This is different.
You will like shoot out and land on your butt, not from like a great height, but you're traveling so fast that one cheek grabs the ground.
Yeah. This is dangerous.
And your butt just splits apart really fast.
Yeah.
And really violently.
Yeah.
And it's immediate searing pain.
Do you think it's as close as we can get to having a baby?
Maybe, yeah.
Because you and I have both made babies.
If labor was 1 second, yes.
Yeah. We should make women feel good about this. We're saying that we've come close for 1 second of your pain, and it was so bad, so I can't even imagine what it'd be like to do hours.
But you can tell when people get it because they have that look in their face, and then sometimes they'll actually like reach back and close it manually, and like you could see it, especially on vert. You see people. You're up on the deck, and you see someone on the flat, and you look up at it, and you're like, "Oh man."
He's not sure.
Or they run behind the ramp because they shit their pants. I've seen that happen.
The butt splitter can make you shit your pants?
Like it just suddenly it's so shocking that it's like, oh!
It's so shocking that you shit your pants.
I don't know if it's, I saw someone panic. I saw someone panic. I saw someone actually yell that to us and panic and run away.
Wait, he said, I'm shitting my pants?
Yeah, I'm going to. And then ran off. And end of session.
Does that mean he ran shitting?
This is one of those backyard, like, dirt ramps. You know what I mean?
That's where
you don't have access to the bathroom at the house.
Yeah.
So he just disappeared. He came back. He was all right. But
I love doing this show, man. So much better than the rest of my life. Such a highlight.
Yeah. So those are those.
Man, I don't want to say it because we're going to skate today, but I don't think I've done the butt splitter.
It happens on sticky surfaces. You've done it for sure.
Yeah, I just those tailbone ones are the ones. I know that's what it was. It was an Indy 540. I never forget it because Colin McKay said I kept trying to make it, and it was one of those ones where, because I can't squat. It was like, you're gonna make it or you're gonna eat shit. It looks good, but you might just explode because you know how you do that. But you might. It looks like you're gonna roll away. And Colin's like, you're gonna get in the car and you're gonna leave. And you didn't try to make it. You get in the car after you eat shit. Try to make it. And I was like, wow. It was just enough for me to be on the deck and go, yep. Drop in, backs of there, whoop, whoop, land, and whoa, and hands in the air. Like I just don't care. And my fucking toes were right in front of my face at the same time. And I went, Higa! Only on the tailbone from like an 8-foot Indy 5. And I was like, yeah! Like just, wow, insane hole. That one was when the tailbone snapped off.
Yeah.
Lucy. Nicotine is a company founded by Caltech scientists and former smokers looking for a better, cleaner nicotine alternative. Finally, tobacco alternatives that don't suck. Researched and developed for 3 years and made for people, not patients. Lucy has created nicotine gum with 4 milligrams of nicotine. It comes in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. Lucy also has lozenges, 4 milligrams of nicotine that comes in 3 flavors: cherry ice, citrus, and of course mint. I don't know why I said of course, but they've got it. Lucy lozenges and gums are FSA and HSA eligible, so you can use your FSA cards to purchase Lucy now, and it's convenient and discreet. Products can be enjoyed everywhere, on flights, at work, on the go, or even in the gym. It's true, you probably could do that. It's 2021. Get rid of the cigarettes, unplug your vape, throw out your dip. Man, yes, throw out your dip and get Lucy nicotine gum and lozenges. I was just
Did
about
you throw out your dip?
I was just about to put one in, Tony, and I was like, you know what? These guys have got a point. I'm throwing it out. Say goodbye to my dip. What about you, Tony? How many dips have you?
It worked.
Are you a big dipper?
No dips.
Yes.
No, but I do get a coarse mint. I understand that sentiment because mostly it's gums and a lot lozenges are mint, right?
Right. Well,
so of course mint. I get that.
Yeah, you got to do it. If you don't have mint, it's like you're not even in the game. And they are obviously in the game. This is the real deal. A subscription to Lucy comes directly to your door. Each month is simple, and you don't have to leave your house because Lucy has delivery down. Lucy lozenges gums are. Wait, I already said that. We already said they're that. Wait, they're also. Oh, you already. No, I covered that. It's Hawk versus Wolf listeners. Listen, go to lucy.co and use promo code WOLF. Get 20% off all of the products on your first order, including gum or lozenges. That's lucy.co and use promo code WOLF at checkout. Also, I have to give this disclaimer. Warning, this product contains nicotine derived from tobacco. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Lucy.co and use our promo code WOLF. Hey, man. Everybody. Basketball season has come to an end. Wham. Man, I am devastated about that. But the anticipation of next season's beginning draft, Tony, you have got to be thrilled. Yeah. No.
Damn, I like DraftKings.
Yeah, I like DraftKings too, but I can't wait to figure out how to bet on stuff, bet on new people, who's going to get drafted first, who's going to get drafted later, who to pick. It's going to be very exciting. There's thousands of dollars to be won. So it's an exciting thing to do, even when the season hasn't started yet. Right?
It's big stuff.
It is big.
That is massive. And DraftKings invested in an NFT company that I'm involved with called Autograph. So big fan.
See, download DraftKings app now and use promo code WOLF. Sorry, Tony. To enter a free draft pool with $10,000 in prizes up for grabs. That's promo code WOLF to get a free shot at $10,000 in total prizes only at DraftKings. Oh my goodness. Eligibility. Katie?
Eligibility.
Thank you. Restrictions apply.
That's why I'm here. Eligibility.
See DraftKings.com for details. That one was...
How long were you out for?
That's why I like this one, because this is my, I don't know if you probably can't, but it was 3 months where I could still skate, but if I sat down for too long, every time I got up, I had to stay bent over for a while, and then I'd slowly stretch up to stand up. So I could still skate because I was in England doing a tour with it. And I remember every time we got up or got out of the plane, I did that weird waddle, and people would be like, why is he looking like that?
Oh, just on my way to go skate.
Yeah, and when you're 25 and you walk with your head the same level as your anus, airline hostesses don't know that you've got a snapped tailbone. Yes. They think that, something's wrong with you.
I fractured there, like my coccyx, and that same thing. I went through that for like a month, just like, I went through a thing where after I fractured my pelvis, I fractured all the way through on my right side. That was the Bob's Loop.
Yes, yeah.
And I didn't realize this, but my body was favoring one side a lot of the time because it didn't want to put weight. Because you've been subconsciously just didn't want to put weight on this foot. But I started skating probably a little too early, and I was always in the back seat, so I kept shooting out like that, like doing Mr. Wilson's. Yeah. And at one point, I was skating this ramp. I went down the big roll in, so the big starting ramp. did a backside air, came down, and I was so much on the back seat that my tail snapped off on the flat bottom.
Does that mean you do the splits?
Yeah. And heading for the gap. So I'm heading towards the gap, and then everything's gone from underneath me. And did the splits. I was fine. It was really slippery, so it was okay. But I remember thinking like, I've got to consciously try to start leaning forward because this is a problem.
There's no way you did rehab, right?
I mean, I did.
I do.
I did.
You didn't do proper though, did you? Did you
Did you
have a physical therapist?
That was in the days of
keep trying to talk over me. No. Did you get a physical therapist? Like,
does Barry Zaritsky count?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, he does. He's got a lot of love in his heart, but like a real like.
This is beyond after. So afterwards, this is when I was skating again. So I thought I'm clear.
Yeah.
So I wasn't working with him anymore.
Yes.
Nor was I wasn't doing
strengthened it yet, obviously, because you were on the wrong.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, though. You're telling your story. You're right.
You got it.
I did get it.
Yes,
I know.
Yeah, you nailed it.
You are unprofessional. This guy, highest level athlete, eats McDonald's. Never forgot that shit, dude. And was like, eat McDonald's not like when I was 18. We're talking, he's got all kids and wives, and he's like, get a number something. And I'm like, a number something. How the fuck can you skate like that with a number something in your stomach?
All in moderation.
Yeah, but I think it shows. I think sometimes people try to do so much for themselves to make themselves a better human athlete, whatever it is. And there's so many gimmicks in the game these days that you kind of wasted your time.
It is hard to navigate all that stuff.
Right. And I feel
absolutely. Because I feel like there are these trends and these whims.
Right. And you didn't go down any of them.
Everything is like, oh no, we're cupping now. No, now we're doing the cold thing. Now I was like, I'm just doing my thing. I don't know.
Right. Which is kind of, I feel like your body is used to you not doing a lot to repair, which has just made your body tougher.
I will say though that the last time, I can't remember what I did. I did something not too long ago. And I took a beating.
Yeah, you hit your face when I was here the other day. Not that one?
That one, yeah.
I was really hoping it was that one.
Yeah, that one. And I used the plunge.
Yes.
And it was sick.
Yep. Told ya.
So
it's amazing.
Cold plunge. Yeah. Ice bath. Thanks to Jason. Hooked me up with one. And I'm not getting paid or anything, but I did. We do have one. And I went home. I was wrecked that day. I went home, got in the hot tub, and then straight into the cold plunge for 3 minutes. And I was like, woo, what's up? What are we doing?
It is ridiculous what it can do.
Yeah.
Yeah, after my...
Oh, that trick? I finally made that trick, by the way.
You posted it?
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah, well,
I'm
all right, whatever. I'm not going to assume everyone's watching all the stuff that
like
I'm
a
doing
hawk,
out there.
Tony Hawk. That's how I watch you. Always watching what you're doing. I watch all the kids now because I love skateboarding again, and now it doesn't burn me to watch people be good anymore. So now I'm just like, oh my God, who's this? Whoa, I never thought of that. That's awesome.
You watch the X Games?
Yeah. Who the fuck is this announcer? Shut up.
Yeah, the X Games was so. I was about to tell you that story before we got in the air, but
you can do it.
What's that?
You can do it
about the X Games? Yeah.
I like this story.
Yeah.
I like because I just want to say real quick when they said Tony Hawk's there, I was like, oh, nice. They like really. You obviously signed a big deal with them because they're like later on the ramp, you guessed it, the Birdman is back, and I'm like, wow, they really. You guys fucking synergized the shit out of that.
Yeah.
And now you're going to tell the story?
I wish I received $1 to be there, but no.
They used you.
What's that? I don't care.
Yeah, I know.
No, one of our kids, Miles, wanted to go watch, and he asked me if,
Do you know a guy?
Yeah, and I know a guy.
Yeah.
And so I said, hey, can our son, his homies go watch? And it was a closed set because they were doing it at the California Skate Park's training facility, and there's just no room for a crowd and COVID, and it's chaos. So I knew I was asking a pretty big favor for 3 people to go. I mean, that wasn't lost on me.
Okay.
And the answer came back, well, are you going to be there? And I was like, send me the schedule and I'll see what's going on. And then I see the schedule and I forgot they have vert. And I said, oh yeah, I'll go. I want to go watch the vert ramp.
Sure. They brought it back.
There's no vert events at all, which is just a travesty right now, considering that skateboarding is in the Olympics, right? And whatever, I have my own big opinions on that, and of course I'm biased, but they got a vert. And so if you build it, I will come. Like I want to go see the vert event. And so I kind of reprogrammed my day because we had a birthday party for Keegan. I left it early because I wanted to go see the vert. And I show up, and then it was top 8, invite only, awesome skating, ridiculous. Like Guy Curry was doing 900s in his run.
That's the little kid, right?
In his run.
Yeah.
I know, like, yes, he did the 1080 and all that, but just dropping them, like kickflip Indy, 900, backside ollie.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know what I mean? Where it's just, we're cruising this, right? And so I'm watching it, and then they said, "Oh, we're gonna do best trick after," and I was thinking, "Oh, that's best trick. I like best tricks.
Yeah,
like I got some tricks.
Yeah, and you just said, "Can I be in it?"
Yeah.
Hey, can I be in the best trick?
No, what I did was there was an hour between the finals, the vert finals, and when they're gonna do best trick.
Yeah.
So I mean, this place is like a mile from here. So I came here, got my pads, went there, started skating. All the final dudes the finalists were burned out because they've been, So I'm just cruising the ramp, getting used to it. And then they start building this perch, and I was like, I like stuff like that. Yeah, let's go. And then I just kept my pads on, and then they were about to start the event. They're like, "Hey, are you in it?" I said, "Sure."
Does anybody?
That's how it went.
Does anybody who's in the
and yes, I get it. Like it could be considered pretentious that I just assume I could be in it. I was fully prepared for them to be like, "Hey, we're starting this. Get the fuck out of here." But
my only question is, anybody in the contest, did they go, "What the fuck," or are they stoked that you're there?
No one didn't say it to my face. I think they were.
But what do you think?
A few of them were too tired to even do it.
They were so burnt out from competing in the contest. They were like, I'm not
like
doing
Tom
best
Char
trick.
was getting cramps. He's just like, I can't do it. I'm like,
oh wow, because he has tons of best tricks.
Yeah. He did try, but no, I mean, and also it wasn't like I was taking away from anyone. They have 20 minutes. And if you make it through a round, like when the time ends or if the time hasn't ended, then you go another round again. So you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't that I was going to deprive anyone from an attempt. And so whatever, I'm justifying it, and I did it, and it was fun.
I wonder if people can hear the air conditioner.
I don't know. Should I turn it off?
Nah, we'll be all right. I wonder.
I can turn it off.
Yeah, maybe do that. In the meantime, I'll talk while you go do stuff. Just so you know, everybody, the board that I used to do the stunt became covered in spit, drool, and dirt because it was just a dirt road that I was doing it on. And now I have a Tony Hawk skateboard set up by Tony Hawk. So this might be the only skateboard that I ride for the rest of my career. But I just realized that we both have the same skateboards. That's weird. We're like a team. We should get matching bandanas.
I can't turn it off.
Well, good. Sit down.
Sorry.
I've run out of stuff to talk about by myself.
All right.
I am happy to know that after this show, today it's, I won't say the day, but I don't have to do a show after this show. That feels good. Because usually I got to go because I got to go get back in traffic and all that stuff.
Yep.
And now I don't have to worry about it. I found like a surf spot. I think I'm gonna get a camper thing in San Onofre. I'm gonna camp there. Today? No. Next, like in 3 weeks.
I was like, wait, what?
But I just found out that place, and I didn't really know how to get there. And today I looked at I asked my friend, like, what is the turn off? And I saw the turn off, and I'm like, right. So that's where you go to get waves. And then I thought,
beginner waves.
Yeah, longboard waves.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be good enough to. I feel like I'm too fat and too bad of a paddler to use a little board.
Nah. You could do it.
I should just hang out with you a little bit more, I feel, because I'm dark on my surfing abilities. I really love it. I feel like the ocean, the whole vibe. I mean, people being angry. I feel like I can get past that because I'm like, I get it. You come here all the time and you don't like me.
Oh, localism?
Yeah. I feel like because I used to be easily triggered before therapy. I'm still triggered, but like, if you're like, hey man, what the fuck? I come from a fucking, instantly. I could be having lunch with my lovely
0 to
wife.
100.
Fucking want to fucking. I'm like, oh, you're so embarrassing, dude. Do you want to fucking go?
It must be hard to recognize that.
It's terrible because there's one person is who does that,
right,
and the other person is doing it.
Yep.
Like I hear him. That I get more Australian. The fucking yeah, and it's like, oh, dude, shut up. I swear it's embarrassing.
I remember there was a summer that we were living in La Jolla because my parents had bought a house, but we were between houses.
Yeah.
And my sister lived in La Jolla, so we were living with my sister, which was weird as it was, at Windansea. And I would just go down to the beach, and I would get hassled all the time because I wasn't a local.
Surfing.
Yeah, one time I was watching the waves to check the surf, and the guy's like, "Yo, man, where are you from?" And I didn't want to say like I'm here because I'm staying. Like, I'm from wherever, Terrasana. Why don't you go back there before I get sick of your face? I was like, I'm just watching the waves, dude.
My face. Fuck your face. Like, I'm just gone right there. That guy just ruins my whole day.
I was trying to. That's why I was playing it out. Like, what would Jason?
Yeah,
do?
I go my face. Your fucking face, cunt. I'll take your fucking face and then I say all these things like profanity and like mums are involved. And I
highly doubt. Well, and I was probably 16 at the time, super scrawny. It looked like I was 14.
Okay, well then I would have done the same thing you did, which is like, meh.
No, I think you would have looked a little more menacing than I did.
I remember getting beaten up when I was 16 at my local skate park before it was my local skate park.
Really?
Yeah. Dude hit me in the back of the head with the skateboard, in the top of the head with the
Unprompted?
truck.
Just
don't like you guys. The fuck you doing here? And I was like, we're skating. Maybe you should fucking find another place to skate. And I was like, I like this place. And he didn't like that. So he hit me in the head with a skateboard. And then I
like how you are assertive yet timid.
I was never aggressive back then. I just was being honest.
But I enjoy this.
But I'm skating here. I don't understand what
this one suits my skill level.
Yeah. And then it was that thing where years later I become by far the best dude in Australia, and he skates that ramp, and he didn't get any better, and I run this town. And from here on out, I'm like, you will respect me. And he always was.
Did he remember hitting you in the back of the head?
Yeah, man. As if you would forget that. I never forgot him for that one. Yeah. I was like, man, who does that? But I also remember he was like, I just hit you in the head with my skateboard truck, and you're standing there going, why did you do that? Because I remember thinking, I should be done by now. But I was like, I'm like, who does that?
Yeah.
And he was like, wow, how are you? And I'm like, yeah, because I'm not aggressive, but if you do fight me, I will probably beat you.
I like it. I like you just stood your ground though. Like, yep, all right. Are we done here?
I didn't, because I'm not.
Yeah.
It took a while for that to come out. Where I was like, you know what? I'm sick of people stomping on me.
And then you had to bottle it up.
Yeah, and now I have to. Yeah, it was like I proved. Yeah, I got this guy.
Came full circle.
Yeah,
but now you're fully capable of it. So there's that element to it, right?
Yeah, but it's not solved. Because I wish I could.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wish I could say this.
Will it ever be solved?
No, I don't think so. Because I think there's a certain kind of person that can bring it out no matter what.
Right.
You know, I think if you say something to my wife or it's being inappropriate to women or something, I know it's probably never going to happen to me, but if you're really out of line, I'm that guy. I'm like, hey, man, probably shut the fuck up or I'm going to start throwing. You can't talk. You can't do that to people.
Right.
If no one's going to stop you, I will.
Yeah.
So that's all it's good for.
I like it.
But road rage these days, I'm so excellent. And I'm like,
you mean receiving road rage?
Yeah. I used to be like, okay, well then cool, let's go. You pull over or I'll get out right now. I'll like half out of the car. My father taught me that. Yeah. If you get out of the car first, you don't get punched in the face in the seat. Like,
I like how that's the wisdom that your father has imparted on you.
What's an older wisdom? Don't get a credit card. He was pretty smart when it came to advice from me.
I gotta take cues from that. I've never said that to my kids. You know, hey, if you're gonna fight in the car, make sure you're getting out first.
Yeah, it's different neighborhood I grew up in.
Yes.
It wasn't even dangerous. I lived in a neighborhood where that was not. I may as well tell my son that. That's how stupid it was.
Okay. So it's hard not to talk about current events, but I'm going to the Olympics.
Yeah.
This might be airing while I'm there.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
Yeah, probably.
And
Tokyo.
I don't have my schedule for what I'm supposed to be doing for NBC, but I have pages of COVID guidelines. Pages.
Are they on lockdown or not?
It's hectic. For lack of another word, you're on lockdown if you're going there for less than 2 weeks. So I'm taking tests every day leading up to leaving. I have to have 2, if not 3 apps installed on my phone that track my whereabouts at all times. So they can see where I am, where I've been, what I'm doing, who I'm with.
Wait, now? Or when you go to
No,
Tokyo?
I mean, I've already installed them, but when I get there, that's when they start tracking me.
Yeah. Even though you've been vaccinated as well. They doesn't care. They don't care.
I guess not.
Okay.
I mean, it's hectic there. I mean, I think they're still having issues for sure.
Are you worried about going there then?
No, I'm not worried. I'm not, having been vaccinated, I'm not worried, but it's just a weird, it's going to be a weird trip because I'm not allowed out of my hotel room unless I'm in their transportation or I'm at the venue of the skating. That's it. Those are my only places I can go.
Oh, you can't leave the hotel?
I can't go anywhere.
For how long are you there?
A week.
You're in a hotel room for a week.
I mean,
like every now and then you'll go to the ramp and go, "Hey, skateboard friends," and then back to your little.
Yeah, well, and I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be there for park, so I'm only there for street.
What?
But
why?
Because they want me there for the beginning. So I mean, I'm not. I'm happy. I'm happy to go. I'm excited to give my expertise on it and whatever. But the whole process of it behind the scenes is wild.
If you're in the hotel room and there's other people that are at the event that are your friends staying at the hotel,
I don't think so.
No,
maybe if they're at the hotel,
right? Like you can hang out in the lobby, or no way.
Doubtful.
Fuck, man.
I know, it's crazy.
It's crazy they're even doing it.
What's that?
It's crazy they're doing it when it's that. Like, how much does that cost to make every one of you entomb yourselves?
I know.
Test. Like now you're testing.
Yeah, I've tested every last 2 days. So anyway, I'm not complaining. Like I'm still excited, but it's going to be a totally different experience.
It sounds exciting.
I imagine. I was telling someone, I go, imagine 5 years ago, they're like, "Hey man, you want to go in Japan for a week? You got to stay in your hotel room."
Yeah, right. I mean, dude, man, my kids are little. If someone said that, I'd be like, in a second.
yeah.
I remember one time you took me on the road and they were both tiny. And I was like, you guys were like coming to dinner. And I was like, nope. Just in the room watching a movie, like eating a pizza. Like,
it is a different experience once you're having kids and they're little for sure.
I was like, this hotel room is the greatest thing I've ever
I know,
been
but I'm such a fan of Japanese culture and restaurants.
And you can't go to any of them?
No.
So that means they're all closed, right? Or just the locals?
Think that what I read was that they're not allowed to serve alcohol, but the restaurants are open.
But you can't go because you can't.
I can't do it.
Okay.
But in terms of just citizens can go eat, but they don't.
They can't drink.
They can't drink in a public restaurant.
Okay.
Because they don't want people getting loose and.
Right.
I guess.
Yeah. No. Safety first.
Yeah. Safety first.
A lot of safety.
But then I did hear. This was not written somewhere, but I heard someone else say, "Oh, but you can go across the street to Starbucks for 15 minutes at a time." And I was like, "How is that the exception to all these rules?"
They're like the U.S. consulate, Starbucks.
But also, go to the most crowded coffee shop for 15 minutes.
You can't leave the streets unless it's to Starbucks where everybody is.
I don't know if that's a real thing. I just heard that from someone else that's there.
Man, that is the last place I'm going to if I'm in Tokyo.
Right.
I'm not going there here, let alone in Tokyo. Like, show me Tokyo coffee.
I mean, the quality's consistent, but there are so many good coffee shops.
I was going to say, they got sick coffee there.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Olympics and X Games? Somebody asked me that the other day on my show, as if they expected a mixed opinion, and I was like, "You mean as in like skateboarding in the Olympics could be bad?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Oh, yeah." I think I'm not in skateboarding as much anymore. I said, but I was like, I think these days the general consensus is, yay. If you want to compete and you get to compete for your country, yay.
Yeah.
But I think at one point we were a lot more punk rock. And I seem to recall the first time it got mentioned when I was not out, but definitely wasn't going to make it to be in it. And I thought there were a few of us that were like, no, that shit's... And I was like, I don't Why? Why is that bad when we're in the X Games? Like, do you think there's any like loyalty
Yeah, I
there?
think that, well, there's sort of a misperception that skateboarding has never been organized, or that it's not a sport, or that there's no, like, people think that X Games created competition in our sports. And I was like, you guys, I've been competing since I was 10 years old.
Right. And
that was the only way to get noticed,
right,
or to get any recognition, or to get any sponsorship or whatever,
right,
or success in skateboarding, was that you weren't going to get in the magazines unless you were competing. Right.
Right.
So that was already established. It was just more that there are a lot of people, obviously, that skate that never compete, and they love it and they do well, and that's fine. But there is a faction of skaters that's their life, is competing. So when they're putting it in the Olympics, they're not reinventing the wheel. They're not recreating what competition is. And for the most part, it'll be the same format as every other event. So why not do it on a bigger stage?
Do you think it was mainstream media taking a hold of skateboarding?
Yeah, I mean, and there's people that think, oh, they're just capitalizing on skateboarding. Well, if nothing else, they have this platform to show skateboarding to an entirely new audience,
right, on
an international scale, where suddenly there's a country that will be supporting skateboarding that probably largely either ignored it or didn't want it in the first place.
What's that place that had in Pakistan?
Afghanistan.
Skatistan.
Yeah.
I follow them now because your wife posted it.
Yeah, so Skatistan. Well,
they didn't look like they just
figured
figured out skateboarding. Like, that's new, right?
Yeah, well, Oliver, who started Skatistan, he just introduced kids there because he was there hanging out because his girlfriend was working there, and then he was a skater, and he would skate this fountain during, like, when he was bored or whatever, and kids started coming up and wanting to ride the skateboard with him.
Skateboarding did not exist.
Didn't
correct?
exist. And then they loved it, and all these girls were doing it, and they found this loophole in Afghanistan where they said, skateboarding, they don't consider it a sport because they can't. There are no co-ed sports. Girls can't play sports with boys, or do sports at all, I think. So they called it a toy, and because it's a toy, girls can do it. And so,
and that's why there's so many girls doing it, because they're not allowed to play sports.
Yes, it's pretty amazing. So then they got all the support from different international organizations, and now they have a whole facility that's also a school, because a lot of kids don't go to school. Mostly girls too do not get educated there. So they have education. I mean, now I'm going off on a tangent on Skatistan, but then they did the same model in Cambodia and in South Africa.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the same
I've been to both of those.
I think I saw a video of that too. Yeah. That's crazy.
But just that, so like, cool. That's one of the seeds planted, right? But now that it's going to be Olympics, like, who knows? Maybe Afghanistan would have an Olympic team, or Cambodia.
That'd be crazy.
Would be very likely. I mean, there's already, like, there's a girl instructor there that rips.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
In Cambodia?
In Cambodia, and she started skating because Skatistan was there.
Dude, that is so sick.
So I think that's the silver lining to all this that people are missing, is that this is going to give youth across the world that are in challenged situations a chance to discover skateboarding.
Right.
Because their country is supportive of it, and they're going to build facilities, and they're going to want, maybe they'll want national teams, maybe not, but for the most part, they can't ignore it now. Yeah. Which I think is awesome. So that's my rant about
I'm glad you got that in there, because that is a really special thing. People need to know about that. There's charities you can send money and support them, right? Help get
Skatistan.
more.
Yeah. I mean, I can't say enough good things about Skatistan. You know, we do our charity, the Skate Park Project, which is mostly US based, but we also do support Skatistan. So we help to fund their South Africa school, and
Skate Park Foundation does.
The Skate Park Project, yeah.
Skate Park Project,
yeah.
Sorry.
That's the only international work that we do, is we do it through Skatistan because we trust what they do. Okay. So we can give them money to better their projects. And they're going to build one in Jordan. They go.
I'm not that educated. Where's that?
That's the Middle East.
Right.
It's a very challenged area.
Does that mean it gets bombed?
High conflict, yeah.
So the skate park could blow up?
Well, they're very careful about their locations and the amount of information about the locations and where they're at and stuff. Yeah. It's all very, they know what they're doing.
We got it so good.
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like,
yeah. I mean, their work is I can't even, the stuff that they have to deal with, the challenges they have, it's insane.
Getting back to the Olympics.
All right.
The bit that's bad about it for skateboarding, because there is an art form to it now, and there are people out there that don't have to compete. But I always thought it was weird when competing was some sort of uncool thing, and I always thought, like, it's funny that I being artistic, being creative, I respect that. I totally respect that. If you don't want to compete, you don't like a lot of people around, the melee and people being loud, totally respect that. But if you live to compete, you live just, you can't get enough competition, even if it's like cards.
Or if that's your style of skating,
then
that's where you thrive.
I don't blame you.
This is it, yeah.
It's a weird thing that at one point, one category of skateboarder was like, oh, boo, 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 boo. And like, I remember being, because I'm a competitor at heart. I love to compete, but I'm also, when I skate, I'm a purist. Like, I want to do things that to me is right, and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. It only has to make sense to me. So I get both sides. I never understood why you would get angry at one or the other. I'm like, you can do both. You can be both at the same time, or you can separate yourself. It's totally up to you. Skateboarding's not, I don't think anyone's ever going to lose their art creative flow in skateboarding because it's in the Olympics.
Right.
Like, if you don't want to compete, don't.
You know what I'm excited for is I think there are a lot of people that see skateboarding, and skateboarding is so much trial and error, and it's people bailing stuff all day. You go to a skate park and you see kids trying kickflips and falling, and there's something to be said for the perseverance and the determination of skaters, but also when you see the level of skill of who is going to be in the Olympics, and when you see the precision that they have and the consistency they have, that's going to change a lot of people's minds about are the athletes, this is a sport. When you see what they're doing, they're in the most elite level of athleticism and competition.
It's funny, like a street contest 15 years ago, 80% of the riders didn't make their ride.
Right.
Now, everybody's making their ride, and then they add stuff for their last couple of rides.
They add stuff that is straight from video games.
Right.
Yeah.
To be consistent at what they're doing seems impossible.
Right. So that's going to be exciting that's going to exciting takeaway for the sort of non-skater viewer.
Right. I hope it pumps it up. I hope it amps it up. I know there's this new thing happening now where it's like, what's going to be entertaining? What is everyone jumping on? Or we've got to make decisions here where it's not going to be the same as it was. So what are we going to do?
Right.
I can tell with Ellis Mania, like booking the event, everyone's like, oh, it's hard to get in, but once you get in, it's going to be really good. Whole different thing now. And I'm like, is it? Like, I'm still planet Earth. What are you guys talking about?
Right.
But I do feel like some will fail miserably and some will be bigger than ever because things have been turned upside down a little bit.
There's a new approach to events for sure. And gatherings and even just keeping stuff online.
All right. But I thought that X Games vert contest was great. But then again,
it was amazing. I mean, and also I hope that there's some attention put on that because those tricks that they were doing the X Games consistently in their runs, a lot of that stuff you're not going to see in the park event, the Olympics.
No, you wouldn't.
And that's a bit of a disappointment to me, a big disappointment to me, because I feel like that's the kind of stuff that non-skaters really are drawn to, where it's like, where are the 900s and the 1080s and Guy Curry doing a 1080? I mean, that really raised the profile of that vert event.
I was going to say the amount of people that bid on that one, because you know me, dude, if you're little, I don't count you, especially if you're spinning. It's easy to spin when you're little. You don't have a girlfriend. Taxes, shut up. Of course you can spin a 1080. You're not impressing
I like how
me.
the girlfriend and taxes are preventing your spin.
Dude, I was so good, and then my girlfriend left me, and I got a drinking problem. Like, it was tough, okay?
I lost my spin.
I lost my spin. She broke my spin and my heart. But I'm telling you, man, when you get taller, it's way harder to do that. And I feel like, I saw Mark McGrath, because I follow people that you don't really know, what I was going to say
is I think Guy he's got the pocket right now where he has the strength. He's tall enough finally to get speed for height.
Yeah.
But he's still small enough that he can just tuck and ball
Right,
up.
because
So he's in that perfect pocket, and that's how he did a 1080.
Right, because I'm telling you, when you're 6 foot tall and you want to like throw that last 180 down with nothing to spare, you're gonna get a little bit more.
But on the flip side of that, he used to be so small he couldn't get
high enough
to
spin.
Right, to spin that much.
Right.
Yeah.
So in theory, he might go even higher and spin more. I don't know.
Well, I think eventually he won't be able to do it on a regular size vert ramp. I think eventually he'll have to move up to something bigger to get that spin, like Mitchie Brusco. But it was awesome. It was awesome that I got to see it, and it was literally his last attempt. And he started crying. Did you see it?
No.
He started bawling. Yeah.
I mean, how old is
awesome. How old is he? Not sure.
Like 12?
Yeah, he's 12. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Get emotional.
It was awesome.
It's your life. You got these things that happen in your life. People don't like when you get like a thing that like you might die kind of thing, and then you realize every little moment, like all the hard work or whatever it is you've done in your life to get you to this one moment that's a really cool moment, and you're like, man, tomorrow's going to be awesome. No. Right now is incredible. Really notice how incredible that is. Dude, you're 12. Tony Hawk was there. The amount of people that I saw post, Tony Hawk did a 900 at the X Games, and now this guy did a 10 at X Games with Tony Hawk there. The eclectic group of people that were so pumped on you and him and X Games was so obvious that they would not have given a shit that contest even happened. But this kid did a 1080 and you were there, and they fucking synergized all the nerds that don't know anything. Like, oh, I remember. And they were like, yes. They were all pumped again.
Hey, I was just stoked that someone was paying attention to a vert event.
Mark McGrath was excited to know that he did a 1080 and you were there.
That's awesome.
He retweeted it. I remember thinking, that is awesome. Oh, the other thing I have to mention before we end, remember how I told you that I was in a contest, my parents paid, and I was on the deck, and they were filming me going, he's standing next to Tony Hawk. And I go, oh, my fucking God. Gregsy has it, and he's burning it and sending it.
No way! And you can hear your parents saying that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is awesome, dude.
So
more
I cannot
content.
wait. That's what I said to him. I was like, "You have no idea. That's going to be so sick in the podcast."
Yeah, let's go.
Done that.
It is weird trying to after the fact trying to remember what we need to put in for this, like what we talked about, and try to find that footage and things. It's a job.
Yeah, right. Imagine if it was 5 a week. Like,
No.
that used to be. That's why I like this. Like, yes, it is a lot of work, but there's like other days. Like watching the S Games, I was like, man, I could call ESPN and be like, you guys need an announcer? I'll do it. We don't have any money. I don't care about your money. I'm trying to save you idiots. Like, get me up there. I will get you an interview. You know? Want to do stuff in skateboarding now. I want to get in there. Get all up in it.
We're doing a vert event.
What do you mean?
We're doing one in August.
You were doing a contest?
We're bringing this ramp to Salt Lake City. I can talk about it because it will be announced by the time we air this. So, Salt Lake City. Sorry, I don't have the exact date.
But what's it called? The Tony Hawk contest or something?
Tony Hawk's Vert Alert.
Yeah.
August 27th and 28th. Salt Lake City. Here we come. Best vert skaters and Legends demo.
Is it Legends demo?
Yeah.
I'll announce it. Can I come?
Yeah.
I want to go watch that.
Yeah. We're bringing the whole ramp.
Oh, because you usually bring half, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the gap.
The gap. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Oh, yeah, that is exciting.
Yeah. Vert Alert.
Wait, one's
free to the public.
It's a contest and a demo, or
yeah. Well, we're doing it. Well, there'll be men's and women's finals. We're gonna do all the qualifying here.
Okay.
So only the finalists go there. Men's, women's finals, and then Legends demo on the night before.
Okay.
And it'll be good.
Well, if we're dropping dates, Ellis Mania is November 13th. I don't think anybody here cares, but
what do you mean?
I don't know anymore. I don't know. You know what?
It's just a ways off though.
Yeah, but it's a lot. It's like sponsors want weekly training videos like real fighters have, where it's like, oh, the camp, so I got to get like a videographer guy to like hang out with me. And I'm like, I don't really like people. And I'm like, man, is this guy going to be around all, so now I'm like, I'm hiring.
I like how you're perturbed that you are trying to create a good story.
Yeah, because I know that it's going to be some guy around me all the time, and I like being by myself.
Watch what you wish for. It is Ellis Mania.
Yeah,
Ellis is in the title.
Yeah, nah.
I accept that Tony Hawk's Vert Alert, I will have to be on display and be available for whatever.
Okay, what if you had to do a promo video for the Vert Alert every week, a new one?
That might get old.
Thank you. Tony, I'm going to be in the car with you 3 days a week. Just like, what's going on, man? What's going on? You know you love that. That's because I know what that is, and I know I'm not going to love it. I know I'll be like, man, I really wish he could stop for a minute, I even think about here, like, you're going to come here and film me, like, hey, we want to do a little bit of like.
Well, I mean, you do it once. Goes a long way.
I know, but I'm already thinking like he's going to be in the car with me. And then when we get here, he's like, what? He's going to wait in the parking lot. And then when we skate, he's going to like be there. I'm like, oh, can't I just get it with the GoPro? Like, can't you just hold it?
That's not voyeuristic.
Voyeuristic?
Yeah. Voyeuristic is like a camera.
Yeah. Okay, it took me a second. I'm back. Yeah, good. Yeah, all right. Yeah, because I'm usually pretty egotistical, but I'm kind of getting over myself, which I think has made life a lot easier too. I'm less of a fan,
Less of a fan of yourself.
Me. Yeah. I used to think
That is a strange way to put it.
Pretty sweet, but now I'm just like, maybe just take it easy, dude. You're all right, Just be happy to be here.
You have no airs about you.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm less, you're not that good.
See is what you get.
Yeah, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like I was probably better, or at least trying to convince people that I was better. And if there was anything that wasn't that, it was heartbreaking. And now,
or it was you edited it out.
In my mind, I would just like didn't happen.
Yeah. It's like we're not going to see that.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
And I was getting really good at that.
Right.
Which is a bad habit.
Yeah.
Which took me thanks to
because then you believe your own hype.
Right. And you don't hear anybody else's opinions anymore because it could be negative. And you're like, oh no, I won't do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes negative information.
And there's no room for growth doing that.
Right. Which leaps and bounds, my friend. Like in the last 10 years, what I am to what I was is, I just hope I live another 10 years so that I can go, wow, I can't believe how
killing it
that
now.
guy was. Yeah, I might even just be happy for the whole day soon.
It is funny, like just being, obviously being older, but I'm just like way better at life and relationships and adversity and dealing with things and as like in the twilight years of being a pro skater. But whatever, I'm happy.
But you would have the same things. I feel like you did the same. You dedicated your life to this one thing, which meant you probably weren't that attentive in some other things. And now you're like, oh, whoa, I didn't.
Yes,
know.
I definitely feel that way.
Right, because I feel like, and once you figure it out, then you can be extra good at that because you got extra good at skateboarding. Right. Because to me, I'm like, oh wow, I didn't even pay attention to that at all. I tell you what, I am going to now.
Yes.
And then I put that energy into those things in life, and now it seems to be.
Yeah, and it was so I was so easily distracted in those days too.
Yeah.
Like, another trip. Yeah, let's go. Wee-hoo. Yeah, I'll do this.
Right.
All right, cool. And then just missing moments like with kids and stuff, and just
that's really all I was just referring to is all the kid things where I was like, go, and I'm like, all right now because I gotta go. And now I'm like, I'm happy I did it because in the end they can be like, man, I want to do stuff like that, and I'm like, well, if you want to do stuff like that, it's not a dabble, it's your whole life.
Yeah. You're fully in.
Yeah. So if you want to go,
there's no time for anything else.
So I think it's better than to say, hey, sky's the limit, whatever you want. Be like, you can have anything you want, but just know that
keep a balance.
It's your whole. You got to give everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I guess there is part of me that's like, maybe I wouldn't have been so successful had I not committed fully. I don't know.
For sure that.
But there's a way to do it, and I've learned that there is there's a better approach to it for sure. I've learned in these years, absolutely in the last 10 years or so, like yes, there's a better way to handle prioritizing time and doing those things and letting things go. Like I was not ready to say no back then to anything because I thought I had to get it all. Every whatever premiere, red carpet, trip to this, that, like, I got to get this all while it's hot. And it was like, what did it leave me?
Do you think it's because you thought maybe it was gonna end because it wasn't such a guaranteed life?
You just get caught up in it too. Yes and no. I mean, for sure. I had lived a life of a pro skater and watched it come and go very quickly already. So when it happened again, I was like, oh, I'm getting it all this time. Right.
Yeah, because that's what I thought. Like I was.
But then you just got lost in it.
Which is, in the end, I did it twice. I did it in skateboarding, and then I got older and wiser and got a really successful radio show and did it again. And then I went, whoa, you're doing it again. I'm like, oh, dude, you really cannot do that at this age. You need to calm down. Yeah. It's tough. To be really good, you got to be really confident. And when you're a guy with no filter, you're just constantly spouting how fucking confident you are, and it drives people insane. So, because I'll do I'm not that confident, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm just a piece of shit, really. Guess what? You can't do that too much either. Like, you got to float it in the middle where I'm like, hey, man.
I suppose.
If it pops off.
You got to be, you have to be fallible. You have to be able to show your mistakes to a certain extent that you know what I mean? It can't all just be glossy, perfect output.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's hard to.
Oh, for sure.
I feel like I've done it in skateboarding where I felt like I was really good in Australia and I needed to talk myself down because it sounded, if you're the best guy in the room and you're talking about how good you are, it's unbearable to everybody else.
Yeah, it gets old.
So I'm like, I could have been better if I had it, blah, 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 blah. And then I found I kind of got worse.
Yeah.
And then
it is the hardest thing to see is when you see people that get some sense of success and all they can do is complain about this or that or this or that. And you're just like, dude, think about how lucky you are or just, I could have had this. But you have everything else.
Put your old shoes on for just a second. Because all of us have those shoes where we had a life where...
My perfect example is I was on Quicksilver for almost 10 years. Yeah. And we did amazing things. We did this tour. We did this whole show in Paris at the Grand Palais. And we had hot clothing and everything. And then just one day it was like, you're cut. And my first instinct is like, what? What are you talking about? What? And then I just realized that was awesome. We had 10 years, you know what I mean? 10 years of amazing opportunities and stuff, the synergy that was happening with crossovers to surf, board culture and whatever. And then, it was hard that it ended all at once, but it's just I can't complain.
I mean, that is Sirius XM to me completely. When they called me and I was like, what? Yeah. What about all the? And then when the shock wore off, I was like, dude,
had a good
somebody came up to me on the beach yesterday and was like, dude, just love the show, blah, blah, blah. That's not me, man. That's Sirius XM did that.
Right.
Some dude, I'm on the beach with my wife. I rode a bike. I'm in nowhere. And this giant dude comes over from miles out of nowhere because he recognized me. That's this show, dude. All the things, the people that DM you, this whole life. Don't live in that one phone call, all the other things they did for me.
That's that's what I'm saying, exactly. But you do see people that do that, and I just feel bad for them because it's you're not grasping how lucky you are,
right?
And appreciating that and feeling that. You know what I mean? It's not I want to say oh, that guy sucks. It's just more oh man, it sucks.
I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, it sucks that you don't get that enjoyment.
Yeah. No, I've done that too. It's you get carried away with yourself and all the things that are happening, and you forget where you came from and where you are right now. Because when it really how's your health? If you really want to break it down, if you really want to get critical, screw your money or how much jobs or how many people recognize it. Are you alive? Kids are dying, cancer and stuff. What are you doing today? Whatever you want, really. What if
whatever you
fire
want.
you? But then you can go and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You get a sandwich, the sky's the limit. You don't do when people think when you're in the hospital, sandwiches are.
I feel
You know what I mean? It's like being shot over a freaking bridge to glory. Like, it's just being around is great.
There was a funny thing. That I know the best trick thing at X Games, like Gary Rogers, he doesn't know all the tricks, obviously.
Yes.
And he's a little loose on the mic, but he did say something funny where he saw me jump in at the last minute, and he's like, think about this. Tony Hawk, he woke up rich today, and he's here. And he just decided to do that here. And I thought, it kind of got me. I thought it was a really funny quip.
I'm trying to understand.
Because
now he's flipping you into Conor
more
McGregor.
like, it's more like I didn't need that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah,
like, he didn't need to be there at all. And here he is, like risking himself just for fun because he loves it. I just thought it was a cool perspective to me because I don't think of it in those terms. But it was really funny that he said it like that.
I'm glad you can see it as a funny thing because I feel like some rich people, when someone gets mentioned that you have money, it's like, what's that got to do with me liking skateboarding?
No, I did understand what he was trying to say. That's why I thought it was funny.
Well, you're very understanding.
I went off on a tangent there, but that reminded me of that. Just like, look at
you're making
woke
me
up and all this stuff, and he's just doing it anyway.
I think that's so cool. I'm going to look at it now because I'm like, to me, where I came from, I'm rich. Every time I go do anything that's like slightly tough, I'm going to say that to myself now. Look at me. You're rich. And you're just going to go to the gym anyway.
and you're going to jump off the side of this car.
That one.
For no money.
No, none of you will even see the video. No one's going to know what my ass feels like it does right now. I still have to sit on one cheek. Just that's like permanent now. I go one, and then after a while, I go to the left. Right?
Well,
gotta rotate.
We should probably go skate now, and you can try to avoid hitting your butt.
Yeah, all face first today. Thanks, everybody. Like and
point these cameras around. This is what's going on.
Like and subscribe. Watch this.
Thanks. This is where we're going. See that?
See that, bad boy? Look at that. Fucking thing that goes for days.
See you next week.